Mental Health, Episode 1, Self-Hatred. Welcome to the very first episode of Serious Mental Health Talk. This will be StarDelivery speaking for today's episode. So in today's episode, we will be talking about self-hatred. Self-hatred is something one should never do, and should not have had ever happen. And I say this as someone who has been through a lot of shit as it is. Self-hatred exists if you hate yourself or you hate your life. But hating your life is technically the same as hating yourself, from what I know. So if you hate yourself, then it could be the same as implying that you hate your life so much, at least from my perspective of understanding anyway. I just highly doubt that you would love yourself and hate your life at the same time, if you know what I mean. Especially if I feel like that's just not possible. I mean, come on. Once you hate yourself, then clearly you hate your own life too. I mean, it would only make sense. There is no loving your life if you don't love yourself first and foremost. You can let me know in the comments below if you have experienced this before, and you feel the need to add something to what I have said throughout this entire episode, or just in general when you feel like correcting something I may have said. Long story short, there could be one or many reasons on why self-hatred may exist in your life, and on why you may hate yourself to begin with. A. You either have had people talk shit behind your back, or at least you think that way due to paranoid anxiety, or you have had them treat you with so much disrespect to a point that you're even bringing yourself down with the insults you remember them calling you, and much, much more. B. Things in your life are not going the way you want or expect these to go, that you're always quote-unquote unlucky or cursed in a sense, that you feel like you get to experience nothing but bad events every once in a while with almost no good events in between whatsoever. C. You are going through something with heavy impact, like a divorce, a passing of loved someone, or something else that you are going through that I personally may not know of. D. You don't always have your stuff or shit together and you feel like it's always a bloody fucking mess. E. You always expect yourself to be perfect in front of others, and when you fail to do so, you feel even worse. F. You were born in the wrong family, neighborhood, town, or a city, or you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know how it is. Or G. You hate yourself because of your sexuality, gender, or because of your strengths you think are completely fucking useless. There are so many reasons behind the scenes that I feel like this episode would just be too long if I had to brought them all up by any means. Whatever the case, I'm sure you can work on it, improving, hating yourself less, no matter how much time it takes, no matter how much effort, because at the end of the day, better late than never, am I right? Even if it all starts off with you making tiny improvements, like every once in a while, every single day maybe. You start by hating yourself 1% less, because let's be honest, improving by 1% or even 0.1% every once in a while is still considered an improvement, even if it feels very little and doesn't feel like much at first. But believe me, it will at one point. Never in life should you be too strict on yourself, let alone starve yourself, because you deserve something far better than that. You deserve to treat yourself with great tasty food as it is. Just take it from me, really. Because someone like you does not deserve all that self-hatred to begin with. Not to mention you don't deserve anybody hurting you in your life, like ever, who just don't respect your boundaries, privacy, and are always talking shit behind your back, who have always treated you like shit, no matter how much you treat them nicely. And here's my golden piece of advice. Fuck 'em. Fuck 'em for all I care. Don't even think about these people and just work on being there for yourself first and foremost. If they have been causing trouble to you as of late, being one of the very reasons behind self-hatred, then the best you could do for me is by ignoring them or even blocking them entirely. You know what they say, the only one who can be there for you the most is yourself, really. Once you start to fully realize it and start to understand why real life tends to get in the way, it would make sense why nobody can always be there for you, if they may have their own real life shit going down behind the scenes. If you are hating on yourself because you have not made any new friends, or you just feel like you struggle to make them, you can always start by starting a conversation with me if you really wanted to and would love to. But before I truly end this episode off, we do need to ensure that self-hatred is talked about and taken seriously enough as it is. So, why would you want to hate on yourself? There's absolutely no reason to. Even if you were a man and had a lot of random boners out of your own control. Oh, believe me, I hate when that happens, and I'm a man. Even if you hated certain parts of yourself, like your hair, skin, your voice, or some other part of yourself. Yes, you might have weaknesses or strengths you wish you did not have, but that should not give you any reason to bash yourself up over it, especially if you were to do it while or and after making mistakes. Because bashing yourself up over all the mistakes you've done is not going to help, and I speak from experience because it will only just make matters worse as it is. Take it from me. I would be laughing off all the mistakes I've done in the past by starting to not give a fuck what others think about me. At least I try my best. Even if I may or may not be aware of somebody speaking very badly of me, even if I may not be aware of someone trying to ruin my reputation online for good. And you know what? I don't give a fuck what they all think. So you could start by doing the same. The less you see your enemies, and the less you have to think about them, the more likely you will improve on your mental health aspect, especially if it means practicing self-love, loving yourself even more than ever. Well, it was said though that the only one who can love you the most is yourself, really. But sometimes I feel like that's not really the case, as I have been going through similar experiences of hatred and hell. But then again, that's just a me thing, I bet, as for some people it's definitely the case, while for some it isn't, if there have been scenarios where one loves them more than they love themselves. But normally I feel like that would be a huge recipe for disaster soon enough, especially if they start to give up on them and ditch them. Let's be honest, love isn't exactly for everyone either. Some even refuse to believe that love is a real thing, and I could only understand why. But that doesn't have to mean the same about self-love, you know? Usually self-love is far easier to achieve than loving someone, unless of course it's the other way around. However, wanna know the worst part? The fact that self-hatred is far easier to achieve and to do than self-love ever is, explaining why it may be really difficult for you or and someone else to practice self-love and just keep practicing it no matter what happens. It is all about being optimistic, seeing what you are really good at, what you're really passionate about, what you really love doing, have fun doing, and most of all, understanding yourself better, own strengths and weaknesses, and why you are better at this rather than that, and vice versa. Now, while not fully related to the self-hatred topic, but if you're looking for a new friend potential, then you can let me know as well, as I may be able to help provide support and guide towards the right path. Although I've been going through a lot myself, it should never discourage you from trying to contact me by any means at the very least. This, however, concludes the first episode of Mental Health Talks. If you happen to have any ideas on what topic I should be talking about next regarding mental health, then please do let me know. This has been StarDelivery, and I hope you're staying strong and safe out there. Till next time, over and out.
Let me handle this. It's my easy boy. Don't get any attitude.
Shit, I'm glad I don't pay no taxes.